Are you ever in the middle of doing something and you realize in the middle of doing that thing that you're not really doing that thing? Like, physically, you're doing that thing, or a part of you is doing that thing, but you, yourself, aren't doing anything. You're just kind of watching this moment, this event happen. I've been thinking a lot about characters lately, all the characters I have in my head that make up my world that I call Carrie. And they all have different kind of personalities and traits and desires and wants and needs, and oftentimes those desires and wants and needs are seemingly in direct conflict with one another. So it's always very fascinating to observe these little voices figure themselves out. But in another sense, I don't feel like I am any of them. Like I have to do anything. So it's very peculiar. But I was just sitting and playing this song, and oftentimes I do this thing where I play my ukulele and I just sing whatever comes out, just because it's kind of like a channeling of myself to myself. And the funniest little song came out, which was a song kind of talking about the silliness of these characters and how ridiculous they sometimes are and entertaining. And I do actually really love them. I suppose I didn't used to, because I used to maybe identify with them more or believe in them more. I do really love them now. And I feel like they both are me and aren't me. I don't tend to get too absorbed in them, but it's just so indescribable, really, with words or with language to explain fully this phenomena of being a human that has both this aspect of itself that's aware of everything that's happening without identifying with it and being rather objective about it, and then also simultaneously have this aspect of yourself or this experience of being very absorbed or identifying with these different characters or different events in your life, and letting them take you for a ride full of experiences, joy, sadness, emotions, thoughts, feelings, sensations. I mean, just a thought can make your heart start to race or change your physiology in very abrupt ways. So it is a real ride. It's not an imaginary ride. But in a sense, it is an imaginary ride at the same time. So you just have to laugh. And I think maybe singing and playing the ukulele helps quite a bit. For me, writing helps quite a bit too. But I just thought I would take this moment to record a video in case anybody else has had these sensations or thoughts or these experiences, and so they might feel less alien or less diseased, less like they are going mad or insane in some way, because I think I have learned, I guess I should say, that putting too much stock in any one of these characters so that I can please the society that I live in and be a predictable kind of character that has certain traits and certain likes and dislikes and qualities and says certain things and speaks a certain way. In order to do that, in order to follow one of the many characters that you have, you really become an actress in my case, or an actor. You really become someone who's pretending to be something that is real in a sense that you're identifying with, but disregarding all the other characters, disregarding the infinite potentiality of the moment, because choosing to attach and identify with a specific character puts your mind in the place of being attracted to thoughts which align or identify with that character, and therefore not thoughts which do not. So your reality ends up conforming to the character. And it probably doesn't take very long. It doesn't take me very long. I suspect it doesn't take anybody very long to realize, if you've conformed to a certain character, that you're never going to really be happy, or you're never going to get what you really want, and identifying with one particular character. It's ultimately unfulfilling. There's always more desires, more wants, more needs, more things that are dissatisfactory, things that don't make sense. And then you have those other characters in you that are vying for your attention, that you're neglecting when you're putting all your stock in the one that seems to be the most conformed to society, or conformed to a agreeable life. But it doesn't take very long to realize that that game kind of becomes less and less fun the longer you play it. That there are infinitely more games available to play, which might be more appealing in a certain moment or based on a certain mood. But today, I'm more or less recognizing that no matter which game I play, no matter which character tunnel I decide to go down for any length of time, in a very short period of time becomes one that I don't feel like I identify with anymore, one that I don't feel is authentic as far as my totality is concerned. So it's a very curious thing. I don't necessarily have any solutions at this point, but I certainly find it more fulfilling to be able to be honest with myself about not being fulfilled by any one of these characters, of being able to project myself into one of the characters and carry out some perceived future, knowing the predictable decisions, thoughts, behaviors, and choices that this one character will make, and see the end of the line and know that I won't be satisfied. So I guess it saves a little time and energy to be able to understand that I don't think that I'll be able to be ultimately fulfilled in following the character, any one character itself. So I guess hopefully there comes a time when I'm able to use the characters more like tools in a moment, and switch from character to character, and be aware, fully, consciously, authentically aware that I am both none of those characters and all of them at the same time. I'll keep you updated. We'll see how it goes.